So today I am at Leaser Lake Park, outside of, well, it's in Lynn Township, Pennsylvania, hiking the Liberty Bell Trail around the lake and doing a little fishing while I'm at it. So what does this little tiny lake have to do with one of the most iconic symbols in American history? Well, it's because in September of 1777, just over the hill on the other side of Leaser Lake here, there was a farmer whose name was Frederick Leaser. He made, well, he is a farmer, so every month Frederick Leaser would take grain and a local alcoholic beverage called Applejack, which was basically like a hard cider, and he would throw it in the back of his wagon and he would go down to Philadelphia. So what was going on in Philadelphia at the time was George Washington had just lost a horrible battle at the Battle of Brandywine and retreated to Valley Forge, which kind of left Philadelphia wide open for General Howe to come in and occupy it. So when Frederick Leaser got to Philadelphia, you know, the town was in a panic, and the Continental Congress had gotten a committee together and decided that they were going to remove all of the bells and a whole bunch of other supplies from all the churches and the State House, which ended up being Independence Hall, and they would get them out of Philadelphia. And the reason they did that wasn't because they weren't iconic, you know, they weren't something that was like, you know, oh my God, we got to save our history. It's because they didn't want the bells melted down to become musket balls and cannonballs that the British would use against them. So they loaded up a bunch of wagons, got all the bells out of all the steeples in Philadelphia, and since Frederick Leaser and a whole bunch of other people, or a whole bunch of other farmers, you know, they would go to Philadelphia with goods, but they would leave with empty, you know, wagons. They basically commandeered a whole bunch of wagons and threw all the stuff in the back of them, and then they shipped all these goods and these bells to Bethlehem. So when they got to Bethlehem, they took all these bells and they hid them underneath the floorboards of the Zion's Reformed Church in Bethlehem, which the church is still there. In fact, they still have a Liberty Bell museum there with a replica bell that they made in 1776. So they hid the bells there underneath the floorboards until 1778, and then when the occupation of Philadelphia was over, and they got to move everything back into Philadelphia. So Frederick Leaser actually was one of the guys who took the bell from Philadelphia and helped to hide it in Bethlehem. So I'm going to put a little asterisk on that. It would be wrong of me not to mention that the fact there's some controversy that there was actually two people who claimed to be the carrier of the actual Liberty Bell. There was Frederick Leaser and Jacob Mickley, who was a private. Both families of these guys both claimed to be the ones that said that their specific wagons were the ones who brought the Liberty Bell to Bethlehem. They're both on plaques. One, Frederick Leaser's is here at Leaser Lake. Mickley's and Leaser are listed on the plaque in front of the Zion's Reformed Church in Bethlehem. But, you know, it's like any other story. It could have been one, could have been both. There's some stories about like how a wagon broke down and one guy took the supplies from the other. But either way, these two guys helped preserve a very important part of American history, whether they knew it or not. I mean, they thought they were just hiding supplies from the British, but it ended up being, you know, probably one of the most iconic symbols of American history. And yeah, from a little farm, you know, outside of on the base of the Kittatinny Ridge of Blue Mountains in the middle of nowhere. So this dam was repaired a couple times in my lifetime. The lake was completely drained, and then it was fixed, and then they started to fill it again, and then they had more issues. But I remember when I was a kid going out, and like it was the coolest thing in the world to see the lake completely drained. You know, we'd go for walks along what would be the bottom of the lake and find all kinds of like stuff on the bottom, tons and tons of lures like stuck on rocks and trees and stuff on the bottom of the lake. So it was a pretty neat experience. You got some little shelled friends hanging out on the rock over there, waiting for the sunshine. It doesn't seem to be coming. Definitely a good place if you want to see birds. Lots of little swallow boxes and stuff around, and they're definitely out right now. Birds are out in force today. Robins, towhees. I saw barn swallows, lots of barn swallows, purple martins. Purple martins is one of the largest birds in the swallow family, and they have some cool purple martin boxes up here by the dam and stuff like that. So yeah, they're neat, and everything's singing and happy, and it doesn't feel like the rest of the world is burning down. But definitely a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Got a big stand of May apples. People call them mandrake. Grew a little tiny apple-like fruit on the stem. So they're a cool little plant. We got ourselves a big old black rat. Oops. He's probably about 3 foot, 3.5 foot. His eyes look kind of pale. He's probably shedding. He looks awfully gray too. He came down a little bit, so now you gotta kind of see how long he is. Keeps going and going. There's the tail. You do get a cool little diversity with this trail. Goes from those like farmers fields and, you know, goldenrod fields to beautiful little woodland creek back here, wetlands. The skunk cabbage. Oh, you can actually smell skunk cabbage. There's lots of skunk cabbage. Kind of smells a little. But yeah, it's beautiful back here. So we're about halfway around. Just gotta walk our way across this creek without getting too wet. But definitely tell it kind of rained here last night. Hey, I made it across without getting wet. Definitely very muddy back here. Frogs are out in force today. That is a big bullfrog. Probably 4 inches big, 5 inches maybe. He's a fat one. Oh, there he goes. Ooh, look. Jack in the pulpit. They're pitcher plant. Really cool. I'm amazed I didn't see any morels back here. Definitely the ground for mushrooms. Well, I found the fish. They're hiding in a place where nobody can get to them. Which I guess is pretty darn smart for the fish. Second black rat of the day. This one is definitely a lot smaller than the first one was. This was only probably 2 foot. The other one was 3.5 plus. But yep, they're out enjoying the sunshine too. standing majestically there. Little American toad. More turtles hanging out. It's funny being dive bombed by those little swallows where you're walking. Just hunting for bugs. So that was Leaser Lake Park in Lynn Township, Pennsylvania. Hiking wise, it was like probably 4.25, 4.5 miles. I probably did at least 5 because just walking in and out and fishing, whatever. So, caught a bluegill, a couple perch, and a smallmouth bass or largemouth bass that I didn't land. But so fishing wise, it was okay. Any day of fishing is a good day. But yeah, it's a really cool area. It's probably, just to warn you, 75% fields and, you know, open area to 25% woodland, marshland. But it is definitely a beautiful area. You're going to see a lot of wildlife. I mean, today I saw snakes and turtles and frogs and toads and all kinds of stuff like that. So, but anyway, thank you for coming with me. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe and share it with your friends. Again, all the trail notes and everything are in my Google Sites page, which is linked below. You know, find me on Instagram and Moxie79, MOXY79. Down at Downhex for Twitter. And you can find me on Facebook, Downhexhighway. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you in the next one. Thanks.